Have you ever watched a show that rubbed you just the right way, even with mediocre reviews on IMDb?
Something under the table. Dude, we can flip it like Hollywood Club.
I can't do it now. I can't do that.
We can work something out.
I said I can't do that.
Operation Repo hit that note for many people. Unfortunately, it has been off the air for almost 10 years. What was this show like? And where is everybody 10 years after the show officially ended? Why did it end, and is there any chance of it returning? For any new viewers, welcome to TUNANOCRUST, the biggest channel about car shows on YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell, and leave a comment after you've seen the video. So, how did this tow show start? It's simple. Luis Pizarro had an interest in film and experience in the repo business. Operation Repo, formerly known as Operación Repo, started airing on Telemundo in October 2006. Like much of its content, Telemundo's Operación Repo was aimed at Latin American audiences and originally aired in Spanish. Instead of airing alongside the other tow shows, it had to compete with telenovelas and soccer games for airtime, and it was #1 for a while. To nobody's surprise, truTV picked this Repo show up and encouraged the showrunners to make an English version. The English version aired on March 31st, 2008. The show concluded on February 5th, 2014 with 11 seasons and 286 episodes. So, what was the show about? Similar to other Repo shows, Operation Repo documented the experiences of people who tow cars for a living. It was set in California's San Fernando Valley. While most of them were average people distraught about losing their vehicles, the crew had to deal with gang members, among others. Everybody needed to be ready for action, even the camera guy. Speaking of, let's talk about the crew. For the most part, Operation Repo was a family business. The two biggest names were Luis Pizarro and his sister, Sonia. Luis retired from the business in Season 11, Episode 6. But what's his story? For starters, I'm pretty sure Lu's 13 years of Repo experience is legit. Although born in Bronx, New York, he eventually moved to Florida where he got into the Repo business. He later moved to California, and that's how he got a Repo show. It's confusing, but there's another Luis Pizarro with the same name who was a bantamweight wrestling champion from Puerto Rico. As tempting as it is to envision that guy starting a Repo show, this story contradicts IMDb. One or the other is correct. It can't be both. Sonia, his sister, was ready and waiting to take the mantle when he retired.
And I'm there to repossess a vehicle, boat, whatever it is. It's the same thing.
She often got questions about her looks, but in her own words, I'm not here for a personality contest. I'm here to take your shit, and I'm damn well good at it. Can't argue with results. Froilan Freud Tosero was Sonia's ex-husband. Typically seen as the funny one, Freud nonetheless got in there with everyone else when things got rough. But that wasn't his real passion. Before he got on the show, he was a makeup artist in Hollywood, probably best known for his work in A Beautiful Mind from 2001. It sure looked like he knew what he was doing in Operation Repo though. Finally, Linda Pizarro was Sonia's niece. She had been on the show since its premiere on Telemundo. She plays herself, which unfortunately leaves her out of a lot of the action, but you do see her. She also appeared in the Operation Repo movies, Operation Repo, Lu's Revenge, Operation Repo, the movie, and Repo Chick. Lu's cousin, Rob, also briefly showed up. From this point on, it's important to note that everyone's an actor. Matt Birch was a friend of the family. He looked like a tattooed Hulk Hogan with less of a tan, and that's no coincidence. Matt is a former pro wrestler. Although he had a brief wrestling career, he got injured, becoming a commissioner or enforcer of Vendetta Pro Wrestling.
And you're watching Vendetta Pro Wrestling. Yeah!
Fake or not, he enjoyed the fighting that came with the job on Operation Repo. You don't know whether you're gonna live or die. It's an awesome feeling, let me tell you. Carlos Lopez was a new hire but might have one of the most interesting filmographies of the entire cast. He is usually treated as more of an actor than a Repo man. Along with Operation Repo, his film credits included Captain America: The Winter Soldier, iCarly, CSI: Cyber, and American Made. Before he became an actor, he had spent 3 years in the military. The other temp, Ron Tyrone Lee, was also an actor. After getting a football injury in the Arena League, he decided to pursue acting. His brief time on Operation Repo was his breakout role. Everybody on the show emphasized how much they enjoyed their work. These people loved dealing with the rougher parts of the business. They took no shit while taking your shit. I'd hate to be on the receiving end of it, but it's easy to see the appeal. People seem to love or hate Operation Repo. First off, real talk. Yes, all of the show was scripted. As I've covered in previous reviews, a lot of the stuff that happens in the lives of repo drivers must be dramatically reenacted for legal and safety reasons. There was a disclaimer about protecting names and other information at the start of the show, but this was largely ignored. Even factoring all of that in, people were surprised to learn how much of Operation Repo was fake. Since the criticism of being fake follows all repo shows, let's focus on how viewers saw other aspects of the show. Like, was it actually entertaining? And the answer seems to be yes. People loved the action, even if Matt was usually the one starting everything. The swearing and dramatization probably helped. Some people thought it was a little too violent, but the fans knew what they came for, and the show delivered. Some reviewers even thought it was nice that they told you what to do if your car gets towed. But the more you knew about Repo, the worse Operation Repo got. Among other inaccuracies, the behavior of the cast members was unprofessional.
And how it's done is up to you. Now, if you were too stupid to understand that, I'm explaining it to you now. Okay? No, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to you right now. Where's this document?
It might depend on where you go, but there are laws about tow truck drivers getting violent with clients, and pro towers called out a few other errors. A lot of the action on the show could not have happened in real life. Real tow truck drivers hated this show. The show ended how the creators wanted, with Lou having a fake heart attack. For people who enjoyed it, could Operation Repo ever come back? It's unfortunately not very likely. Fans of the show will be shocked to learn that the leading lady, Sonia Pizarro, died at the age of 60 on May 3rd, 2023. While the cause of death isn't clear, every article says in her sleep without any further details, she had a stroke in May 2018 that may have affected her health down the line. Fans of Operation Repo flocked to Twitter to mourn her passing. Her husband took time off social media to cope with the loss, but seems to be in an upcoming movie, Ride or Die. Sonia's not the only death in the cast. Carlos Lopez committed suicide at the age of 35 in 2018. He might not have been the biggest name on screen, but he had a place in our hearts. Let's take a moment to mourn the loss of this charismatic soldier. What about the cast members who are still with us? Lou and Linda both lost a lot of weight after the show. Sonia wasn't a wake-up call or anything. She, Lou, and Linda had all started losing weight almost as soon as the show was over. While we don't know how Sonia lost weight, Lou got a gastric sleeve and Linda has an exercise routine that you can follow along with. Linda is still listed as an actress and model, and Lou impressively stopped a real-life crime in 2014. The police didn't recognize him because he had lost over 100 pounds.
I seen the guy running with a skateboard in his hand, and he's running from the cops. They're like right on him. There's, I don't know, about 6 or 7 cops.
Lou is also still making moves. His IMDb page cites 2015's A Father's Journey as one of his major roles, but he's also a writer and director on a movie called Psychic Visions released in 2023. Never seen that. Let the world know if it's any good in the comments. Most other people have moved on with their acting careers. Along with being a wrestling commissioner, Matt has been on the crew for movies like Christmas with the Chosen, Holy Night, and had a minor role in Mythica. He is also credited as Biker Sex God in the movie Crustacean. Think of a cooler movie credit and post it in the comments, I dare you. I didn't talk very much about Ronnie because his role was very temporary, but you'll see a similar story with him if you check his IMDb page. He's moved on to other roles. You might recognize Murder Syndicate and Warhammer Pre-Space Marines. With major cast members retired and deceased, it's not very likely that we'll see Operation Repo come back, even with its passionate, bilingual fanbase. You can watch most, if not all, of the episodes on YouTube for free, albeit with a lot of bleeped swearing. Tubi, Pluto TV, and the Roku channel also have episodes for streaming. People mostly got what they came for when it came to Operation Repo, regardless of what version they started with. But now I'd like to hear from you. What was one time someone gave you exactly what you asked for, or on the flip side, horribly underdelivered? Let me know in the comments below. Again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so that you can revisit the car shows that delivered exactly what you wanted.